Alright, we made it to Seminole Canyon State Park, Texas State Park. We're going to check out this visitor center for a minute and decide if we're going to go on the tour that takes us down into the canyon to see the pictograph site or not, petroglyph site. I said pictographs, corrected myself and said petroglyphs, but actually it's pictographs. So
they're like paintings.
So the difference is one's a carving and one's a painting. So that's like a pictograph. They have ancient paintings on the wall versus the carved petroglyphs. All right, we made a decision. We have time to do the tour. So we're gonna go do the tour. That canyon tour goes down in there. I guess it's a highlight of the park, so we're gonna go check it out. Got some serious wind going on out there. We're experiencing some pretty strong wind right now. Hold my hat on. That little weather vane up there just flopping in the wind. Well, so far on this trip, maybe it's the time of year, I'm not sure, but New Mexico and Texas are the windiest states we've ever encountered. It's so windy. Dang. Well, there's the original roadbed for the Southern Pacific Railroad. That's pretty cool. We have a little bit of time before our tour, so we're going to hike down this rail grade trail that goes down to the there's this old wooden bridge. Not sure what the significance was of it again, but we're going to check out this sign that talks about it, and then we're going to hike down there and hike back. We should have enough time to do it. Alright, here's the sign. So we're right here. We're going to go down this rail trail to the sea, and then we're going to bug over to this little wooden bridge thing that's right here. Apparently there's some snakes we got to watch out for too. Big old sign, watch for snakes. And hold my hat on. Look at this desert landscape. It's just desert as far as you can see. But even where there's desert, dry, there's still beautiful flowers down there. They got some awesome flowers. We're seeing a bunch of those as we go. Haven't seen any flowers like those yet. Ah, those are pretty. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful flower. White one. Alright, found our junction. Canyon Trail. Alright, we're getting close. We just caught a glimpse of the bridge right out there on that point. Alright, we battled our way through the wind. Don't you love it?
Like, is that as far as we've gone as well?
Yeah, there's the canyon, and down here there's the old wooden bridge that they said was a point of interest to go check out.
Well, to me.
I'm just not really sure what purpose it served. It seems kind of oddly placed. There's a plaque that talks about it. Bridging the gap. Alright, bridging the gap. There's some old remnants of some rocks and some huts from when. Canyon Rim Trail. Goes along the canyon rim all the way down. It's a pretty long trail, but it gives you good views of the canyon down below you here. Alright, trail summary. Pretty flowers, pretty canyon, pretty dry, pretty hot, and pretty windy. Anyway, we made it out to that bridge deal. It's bridging the gap in history. It's kind of an innuendo, whatever. Anyway, super cool to see. The views of the canyon were fantastic. Like I said before, the flowers were amazing. Anyway, desert's beautiful in its own way. All right, well, on to our tour now. All right, we're heading down the canyon. There's not going to be much talking on the way down because it's too windy. So we'll get down there at the bottom and talk about what we're seeing on the way down. We'll just video what looks interesting on the way down. Pretty steep. A whole lot of down means a whole lot of up. Coming back out. A little less windy down here. Alright, we made it to the bottom. We gotta hike back up that visitor center to get out of here. There's the stairway out.
Yeah, what? These canyons are a work in progress. They're not a finished product. There are erosional and weathering forces still working and shaping and forming these canyons. Most of these are these little unicorn horn shaped Turritella sea snails.
Right here.
In
A
the
lot of them
shade.
right there. A lot. Right there.
Pretty cool to see the fossils. Yeah. Alright. Pretty cool pictographs.
Does it feel better up here? It's a little cooler, a little shady.
Well, you can let the air in now. Get your head cool off.
Oh, that's a good idea. Sometimes that feels pretty good. Especially when your head gets sweaty or when you let the wind hit it. This is one of the sites where you can kind of see how archaeologists have come around to the idea that they must have built some kind of platform. Here, its feet are in here, and it goes all the way up to probably about here. That is the tallest single anthropomorphic. Nice. What's left of an ammonite fossil right there?
Alright, we're on the climb to go up to take a look at the largest rock shelter in the region. Pretty excited to see that. There's some wind weathering on this rock right here. It's pretty neat to see.
Windy weather.
That's pretty fantastic right there.
Wow, it's neat.
Handprints on this.
There's some handprints there. Pretty neat.
Handprint. I'll get my dot on the way. This is kind of called the butcher block out here. It's got a real sheen of varnish and polish on it. What those are
Fossils.
the fossils of a creature called a rudisted bivalve, or a rudist clam. They were really just really large mollusks that lived about 100 million years ago to about 66 million years ago. And they were very much a part of the community when this was all underwater in that warm, shallow sea. And these rudist clams acted a lot like modern day coral in that they formed these giant reef systems that then other creatures would come and take advantage of. And they dug a trench right along the wall, and that's where they uncovered what they named the L6 burial. And the L6 burial had 6 sets of human remains buried in it together. What made it really interesting, because they couldn't study at the time the way they could study it later. They found that all those people in that grave were related once they could do DNA testing on the remains. They found that 6 of them were related, 3 of them were closely related, and 2 of them were very closely related, either a father, son, or a pair of brothers. They found out that between the oldest and the newest burial was a really long span of time, at the very minimum 175 years or so, and maybe a lot more. So the L6 burial, it appears, was kind of a family plot, you know, for people that were all related over there.
Some fossils.
And then way in the back of the shelter, kind of at the end of the maps,
Another fossil here. That's super cool. There's an old mesquite tree. Holy cow. It's been there a long time. So he was explaining how these pictographs were dated back like 5,500 years old. Pretty amazing. Alright, we just finished up with the tour. It's time to do the climb up. We had a super informative tour guide. Really went into a lot of detail on everything. It was super interesting. I would highly recommend taking the tour if you want to learn about this kind of stuff. I mean, we see the pictographs and petroglyphs all the time, but he went into a lot of detail on how they got there and how old they were. Just super interesting about the whole site in general. So anyway, we're gonna mosey on down the trail and head off to our next destination. Thanks for watching.